What's up, guys? Good to see you. Welcome to day 2 of the 21-day war on sugar. I'm starting off the day right with a keto coffee without the heavy whipping cream, of course. I'm feeling good overall. Last night I had a little weird random sugar craving, which I never get. Obviously I conquered it. Woke up this morning feeling great about everything. We have a lot of stuff to do today. I really have to try and get to the grocery store so I can supply myself with non-sugar food. And for those of you who are doing this challenge along with me, I know a lot of people are, make sure you use the hashtag #WarOnSugar so that I can see what you're up to and you can share your knowledge with everybody. I highly encourage you guys try this. It is so far day 2, and I think this is gonna be a really good thing for me. I also wanna say this, to those of you who don't want to do this, but you are already leading a good, healthy lifestyle, that is totally cool. I'm just taking this to the extreme by eliminating all sugar. But I will admit, the trace amounts of sugar that I'm coming in contact with, like in bacon and in sausage, typically that doesn't affect me, all right? I'm still able to stay in fat burning mode, but for this challenge, I'm avoiding all sugar at all costs. Just to give a quick update, if you do decide to do the 21-day war on sugar, here are the rules. There are 60 different names of sugar. You see, the enemy goes by many aliases. So every time you read the ingredient labels, make sure it doesn't contain any of these aliases. Sugar also takes many forms. 2 of the forms are artificial sweeteners and sugar alcohols. The jury's still out whether these are good or bad for you, but for the 21-day war on sugar, they're no go. And finally, we've got natural sweeteners, things like this. We are gonna avoid those for 21 days as well. So it's kind of alarming now that I'm a father and I have a 1.5-year-old, given that I'm kind of anti-sugar already, anti-carbs really in general. It's scary to see how much carb/sugar children eat. And I have to be the first to admit, I find it very difficult to keep it away from Paxton. And I remember the first time that he had sugar, I just remember looking at his face and thinking, dude, like, you're loving that stuff. And it's kind of hard to put in words, but I've been doing some research and I found an excerpt from this book where a gentleman named Michael Pollan described the experience of watching his son eat sugar for the first time. I found it very compelling, so I'm gonna read it to you. Imagine a moment when the sensation of honey or sugar on the tongue was an astonishment, a kind of intoxication. The closest I've ever come to recovering such a sense of sweetness was secondhand, though it left a powerful impression on me even so. I'm thinking of my son's first experience of sugar, the icing on the cake at his first birthday. I have only the testimony of Isaac's face to go by, that, and his fierceness to repeat the experience. But it was plain that his first encounter with sugar had intoxicated him, was in fact an ecstasy in the literal sense of that word. That is, he was beside himself with the pleasure of it, no longer here with me in space and time, quite the same way he had been just a moment before. Between bites, Isaac gazed up at me in amazement, as if to exclaim, "Your world contains this?" From this day forward, I shall dedicate my life to it. Alright, so I just got 2 unexpected packages. The first one is from a gentleman named Frederick. I'm gonna read an excerpt from his letter that he sent me. Hello, my name is Frederick, originally from Norway, but now I live in Arkansas with my beautiful wife and 3 amazing children. We did a consult a few months back. I just wanted to thank you for changing my life. Before I came across your YouTube channel, I'd tried so many frustrating diets to support my bodybuilding goals, with focus on staying lean, but none have come close to keto. With no struggle, doing strict keto helps me stay consistently lean. The food tastes great, and most importantly, I feel consistently very focused, with often near euphoric moods. I know how you feel, bro. I am very hard to convince, me too. But you won me over and made me a believer right away thanks to your many inspirational and motivational videos. Frederick, I'm happy to be part of your journey. I'm glad I was able to help you out. Judging from the rest of your letter, you are paying it forward, helping people in your family, helping people on the internet. So I want to thank you very much. Let's see what you got us. Oh, Paxton's gonna be pumped. So we got Trolls coloring book with crayons. We've got a Think and Learn, Seek and Spell penguin. That's amazing. More Trolls. Here we got some body wash with a little bit of hair on top. Yo, look what your friend Frederick got you. It's a real life troll. What? Okay, so I had a feeling this delivery was gonna come during this 21-day challenge. Perfect Keto sent me their newest product here. It is a keto butter. So initially I was already kind of set not to get too excited because most nut butters contain sugar. However, when I checked the ingredient label, the first thing I saw was total sugars 0. I don't believe that now because I see a lot of labels say 0 sugar, but when you go to the ingredient list, it tells a different story. But thankfully, the ingredients are raw macadamia nuts, raw cashews, raw coconut butter, MCT oil, sea salt, and vanilla bean powder. So I looked up vanilla bean powder. It is good to go, no sugar. Thank you, Perfect Keto. This is going to be clutch over the next 21 days. So unfortunately, I've come to realize that a lot of the products and supplements that I take on a daily basis are not going to work on this 21-day challenge. For example, we've got Perfect Keto MCT oil powder. They just released chocolate and vanilla flavors. They are sweetened with stevia. Now listen, stevia is by far probably the safest artificial sweetener, actually, I'm sorry, natural sweetener there is, but it is forbidden on this challenge. Fortunately, I'm able to go back to the unflavored MCT oil powder. The same goes for my microgreens, which I absolutely love. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna hurt not being able to take these every day. All right, we've got exogenous ketones here. I don't typically take exogenous ketones very often. When I do take them, it's before endurance type activities. In that situation, I find them very beneficial, but for the next 21 days, we won't be taking exogenous ketones. The moment that I have not been waiting for. I'm getting ready to go to the gym. Every day that I go to the gym, I take pre-workout. It's completely fine with me. I have no problem whatsoever. It doesn't kick me out of ketosis. I've said this before though. If you have like a lot of weight to lose, you want to avoid pre-workout because it does include sugar, natural sweeteners, artificial sweeteners. There's literally not a single one on the market you can find without them. This is my favorite, the Myoplex pre-workout here, the blood orange flavor. There are sugars in this. So that means I'm gonna have to learn how to work out without pre-workout. And I have to admit, like, it scares me. It really does because I'm very dependent on pre-workout. This is gonna be very, very difficult. But I have a feeling going 21 days without pre-workout is gonna be a good thing. So I'm just gonna muster up my sheer willpower, remind myself why, and go kick ass at the gym. I can't take you guys along with me, but I'll see you when I get back.
2 hours later.
All right, guys, Paxton just woke up from his nap. Daddy just got back home from the gym. It was an awesome workout. I ended up just taking some C8, some MCT oil for my pre-workout. It did me great. We kicked ass. You know, I've been thinking a lot about Paxton and the camera and like what I do for a living, just always having the camera out. And sometimes I catch him just looking at me like, what is going on? He's obviously too young to understand that I'm talking to you guys. He probably just thinks I'm just talking to myself and that I'm crazy. I also think a lot about when he gets older, you know, being in school, his friends are gonna be able to look back on these videos and he himself is gonna be able to look back on these videos. So I always remind myself that everything I say, everything I do, my son will be judging me and he will be able to watch these videos back. So I hope I make you proud, Paxton, and I hope one day you never tell me to get the camera out of your face. Guys, I'm in the middle of making my post-workout meal and I got a text message from one of my favorite people of all time, Louisa Hallett. Her information is in the description below. I've featured her on this channel before. She's a keto coach. She's made an amazing transformation using the ketogenic diet and she is doing the 21-day war on sugar with us. She says, I feel hungover and didn't even go all out. I only had 197 grams of carbs and 165 grams of sugar. Now, before I go on, anybody and everybody who decides to do the 21-day war on sugar, it does not and should not include a full day of what I did and what she did, which is eating a ton of sugar. I only did that just to highlight the problem, to confront the enemy, to show how prevalent sugar is in our society, how damaging it is, and how the average American lives. You do not need to do that. Just jump right in with day one on the 21-day war on sugar. She goes on to say, are you going to do coffee? And if so, how? Can't decide if I should do a plant-based creamer. day one, so it's harder. That's a good question. I've been having my keto coffee without heavy whipping cream. I have not found a good replacement. If anybody out there has a suggestion to replace heavy whipping cream in keto coffee, please put it in the comment section below. Our post-workout meal here. For the second day in a row, I'm eating 4 whole eggs, scrambled and cooked in butter. I have 1 whole avocado, awesome source of fat, awesome source of potassium, and I have 2 small tomato slices. I'm eating this at my desk while I work because I need to catch up. I've got so many things going on right now. I was just thinking about this as I was feeding Paxton this morning. It really sucks that he is allergic to eggs, which is in absolutely everything, and I wish I could just give him eggs like all the time because they are extremely healthy for you. So many good vitamins and minerals, healthy fats. So the fact that he's got to go his whole life without eating eggs makes me sad. To compound that issue, he is also highly allergic to nuts. He accidentally ate nuts in key lime pie about 4 or 5 months ago and ended up in the hospital. So it's gonna be a challenge for Paxton, but I'm sure he'll be good. So I'm gonna eat this and then we're gonna go to the grocery store. So we just pulled up to King Soopers, which is the local grocery store chain in Denver, Colorado. I can't tell you guys how many times I've been kicked out of grocery stores for filming. I brought my small camera with me this time, but I stick out like a sore thumb, so hopefully we can get through this whole grocery store trip without getting busted. I don't know what it is, but grocery stores hate cameras. Real talk, that was the most frustrating grocery run I have ever been on in my entire life, not even exaggerating. First off, there were like everybody at the store. For some reason it was super crowded, which made filming very difficult. Also, when I go to the grocery store, since I've been doing the ketogenic diet for so long, I like know what I'm going for. I don't even think about carbs, I don't think about sugar, but today, since I had the camera, I wanted to highlight a few items that had a lot of sugar in them. And after a while, it became like overwhelming. It was like the enemy was just surrounding me, and everywhere I looked, I didn't know what to even get. I was spending all this time focusing on what I could not have instead of what I could have, and it absolutely drove me crazy. So I put the camera away, I grabbed a few groceries here. There were a few things that were extremely frustrating, And I'm gonna have to go back to the grocery store again. You know, that was extremely unsuccessful. But a few things that were alarming. Mayonnaise has sugar in it, and obviously ketchup does, balsamic vinaigrette does, ranch dressing does. I could not find bacon without sugar. Even the uncured bacon has turbinado sugar in it. I couldn't find sausage without sugar in it. Like I said before, ordinarily, I know sugar is used as a preservative and it's very trace amounts, but for the sake of the challenge, it's a no-go if it says any form of sugar on the ingredient list. And it blows my mind how many items at that grocery store has sugar in it. The sugar industry must just be rolling in the money. The other and by far most frustrating thing that I just now realized when I got back, I bought chicken broth because I keep my sodium levels up with chicken broth. Guess what is in this chicken broth? Sugar. Cane sugar. So I don't know, that poses a problem I did not foresee. I'll figure that out later. So I'll show you what I got here. Obviously we have eggs because I'm going to be eating a ton of eggs. We also got some ribeye. Interestingly enough, I thought about doing the steak and eggs challenge. Somebody asked me to do it for a week or two. I decided not to, but I swear this challenge might turn into the steak and eggs diet. We've got avocados here. So here we've got natural, uncured beef hot dogs. I love them, Paxton loves them, Carly loves them. I prayed to God there was no sugar, and in fact, there is no sugar. Mixed nuts, zucchini squash, tomatoes. We've got mushrooms. I got Paxton some oven roasted turkey breast, which I didn't look to see if there was sugar in this. There is. Okay, so mustard was one of the only things I could find condiment-wise without sugar. I'll do a deeper investigation the next time I go. For now, mustard is good. Actually, I also found Frank's Red Hot. I wasn't sure if this had sugar. I like putting this on my eggs every once in a while, and in fact, there is no sugar. We've got spinach. And last but not least, we have salmon. So I'm gonna put all these groceries away, get some more work done. I'll check in with you guys at the next meal. Oh, I forgot, you're right. We got bison.
Later that same evening.
All right guys, dinner is served. This dish right here puts me in a much better mood than I was before. We've got my favorite, which is salmon. Now, what I did was I took avocado oil and I drizzled it on top. Then I ground up a bunch of walnuts and then I sprinkled them on top of the filet. Then I put them in the oven for 15 minutes. We've got a side of asparagus, which is a natural diuretic, and mushroom, which is a good source of potassium. So I've got this Trader Joe's seasoning salt. I'm looking for like anything and everything without sugar. This checks out. The ingredients are granulated onion, garlic, sea salt, celery seed, paprika, and ground nutmeg and dry mustard. This is a good addition. I'm already having more fun with this challenge than I did the last challenge, which was the 21-day 4,000 calorie challenge, because I don't have to overeat. Avoiding sugar is difficult, but overeating, especially on the ketogenic diet, is brutal. So I'm thankful that I don't have to stuff my face multiple times a day. This is gonna be a delicious meal, guys. The war continues tomorrow, day 3. Thanks for rolling with me. Thanks for supporting me. And as always, keep up the good work and much love.